Mr. Ambassador, thank you so much for your time. I'm going to start with the decision that was made today in Iran. They are officially halting all the cooperations with IAEA. In your briefing, you were saying that you're not going to give the headline of Iranian nuclear sites being completely destroyed. You said you have few years to calculate your next steps. Going to IAEA and the decision, do you think you have that much time? Aren't you worried that that decision is gonna put them again on the track to have a nuclear bomb?
We do have the ability to monitor very carefully what's happening on the ground in Iran. We proved it. And I think the regime should understand that not only Israel, but many other countries will look very carefully at what's happening there. And I hope that they learn the lesson. They learn the lesson, and I hope that they will invest the trillions of dollars on the people and not on building capabilities that will not last. The world will not allow Iran to develop military nuclear capabilities. They will not allow it, and it was proven.
Mr. Ambassador, what is, in terms of nuclear facilities, nuclear industry, what is absolutely not acceptable for Israel?
Well, I think you have to look at the end game. When you see the intention and the fact that the regime was trying to build a nuclear bomb, and they were trying to hide it, but all of the evidence was there. They had the ballistic missiles, they had the triggering mechanisms, they had the enriched uranium that you don't need it unless you want to develop a bomb, a nuclear bomb. So if they would continue and try to assemble the same products, we will be there. We will be there and we will block it.
So if they're planning to open, let's say, Fordo or even Isfahan, you don't want that. You cannot accept that, even opening the sites.
So I will not go into the details because we have capabilities to know exactly what they are doing. If we'll see that they are going back to the same track where they were, then we will have to take a decision. But I hope it changed. I hope they understood that not only Israel, but also the US will follow very carefully on what's happening on the ground.
So if you want to define the stage that Israel is in at the moment, is just you are sitting and watching what Iran is going to do next.
Exactly. And we did it for many years until we decided that it was getting to a position or a point of no return. And then we acted. So now we'll actually monitor and we'll look very carefully what's happening on the ground.
What many people are suggesting is that you're going to follow the same strategy in Iran that you followed in Lebanon, just going back time to time and hit whatever you think it's problematic. Is that true? Is that what you're looking to do inside Iran?
I will not go into what we will do in the future, but I will look at the end game. Iran will not have the nuclear capabilities. That's something we cannot accept. When we saw the regime, the way they sent those ballistic missiles into hospitals in Israel, into civilian population, we understood that, they sent everything they had against us. So we cannot allow them to have this kind of weapon of mass destruction and to threaten our existence.
Mr. Ambassador, what parts of the missile program is a red line for Israel?
So I think that, we know that they have the ballistic missiles and they are capable of launching them into Israel. The uranium was enriched to levels that the IAEA said very clearly. There is no explanation for that. Nowhere in the world you can find reasoning for that. And when you saw also that they have the triggering mechanisms and they wanted to assemble everything together, that's when we decided to stop it.
Going back to the ceasefire, what I was witnessing based on social media, Iranian social media, many defined it as very abrupt, very sudden, a surprise. Did you feel that way too? Do you think that it was abrupt? Do you think could you see it coming that day on that Monday?
There are more targets in Iran. We could have continued, and we proved that we had air superiority.
So you stopped because of President Trump?
We had air superiority over Iran. We had the ability to continue. But the main thing that we wanted to achieve were already achieved. The main sites were already destroyed. So we could have continued, but when President Trump approached Prime Minister Netanyahu, we decided to accept his offer, even though we had more targets in Iran and we had the capability to continue. But we decided to accept the offer and to accept the ceasefire, but we will follow very carefully that there are no violations from the other
Mr.
side.
Ambassador, offer, so what Israel is getting in return?
So basically, when you had the agreement was a ceasefire from both sides. That was the agreement. But now, as you know very well, it's still open to see where Iran is heading. If they are heading to negotiate, to speak about what will be happen next or not. I think now it's too early to know.
You want that. You want negotiations at this point. You want Iran to talk to US or EU.
Well, not to talk. I want them to understand that if they want to be welcome and not to be attacked in the future, they will have to allow real supervision. They will have to allow the Western societies to feel safe with what's happening in Iran.
Mr. Ambassador, going back to what you said to Iranian people in your briefing, you had a message to Iranian people and you said that you would be happy to see a regime change in Iran, but that was not the goal of your operation. But there are a lot of mixed messages there. Prime Minister Netanyahu, times and times again, he published messages to Iranian people. I remember a few months ago, he said to Iranian people that you're going to be free as soon as, before even you can imagine. That's something that he said. And also the targets that IDF and IAF chose was Basij, or was IRGC intelligence sites and offices. Why did you choose those sites? They were not nuclear. They were not related to missile program. They were related to civil movements and oppressing people. Why did you do that? And is there a reason? Was that a message you were sending to Iranian people?
So first, as I said earlier, we love the Iranian people. We respect them. We know that they suffer a lot. So we hope that they will see a change very soon. And then they can enjoy the prosperity like other nations in the region. In Iran, you have a lot of capable people, but the part of that the money is being spent on bad things, on why to send money to Hezbollah and to the Houthis instead of investing it on the people of Iran. So we are praying and waiting for that day to come. I believe it will happen, but the Iranian people will have to decide when it will happen. It's not going to be from the US or from Israel. They will have to decide when it will happen and how it will happen. And when that day will come, we will be there to support them and to work with them.
In what way you are going to support?
So once there will be a new regime in Iran, you can only imagine, that people will come to visit Iran, people will collaborate with Iran, the economy of Iran will look different. Today, Iran is isolated because the regime took it to a very radical place.
Mr. Ambassador, last question. How do you feel about the rhetoric coming out of Iran these days with the officials saying that we are going to destroy Israel? Like after 12 days war, still the rhetoric is there, still they are threatening Israel and the existence of Israel.
I think some leaders in Iran, instead of dealing with the real problems of Iran, it's easier for them to attack Israel. But we saw that, even when they tried to attack us, we have capability to defend ourselves. And you see how many years they spent on those events against Israel and incitement against Israel and building the weapons of mass destruction, and still we were able to defend ourselves. So hopefully the regime will understand that they should invest the money somewhere else.
Mr. Ambassador, your honest opinion, do you think Islamic Republic is gonna be a normal government ever?
Well, if you look at the ideology of the leadership, it's unfortunate. They focus their efforts in hate, in incitement, and not where it should be.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.